All right, good morning and welcome on a wonderful Monday morning, August the 21st. All right, this will be exciting this morning. And in a moment, you will see why. Because I'm joining you here this morning live from Las Vegas. And in a moment, I'll tell you why and what am I doing here. But first of all, let's see. Who here wants to make money with trading? Let's see. Type in a yes in the chat box if you want to make money with trading. And who here wants to make enough money with trading so that you can quit your job? All right, exactly. And who here wants to make so much money with trading that you can travel the world and live the lifestyle you always dreamed about? Type in a yes if you want to do that. Yes, absolutely. Now, how many of you want to get as much as possible out of our time together today? Yes, I want that for you because for most of you here with us today, this is going to be a long-term relationship between us. I promise you. Because once I show you how simple this is, once I show you an easy way to trade, once you realize that this actually works, once you realize that you can do this too, once you see that this can give you the freedom you want, you will want to hang out with me for a lifetime. I promise you that. So, here's what we are going to do today. For the past 5 days, I have been here in Las Vegas at a Tony Robbins event about business mastery. So, there was the business mastery event, and today I am going to share with you what I learned here because even though it was about how to run a business, many of the things that I've learned here over the past 5 days applies to trading as well. So in a moment, I will share the 3 key takeaways from this event. And of course, we are looking at the markets live. And let's do this. Let's look at the markets live and let's see where we are here on a Monday morning. So in the upper row, you see the 3 charts, the 3 indices, the E-mini S&P in the upper left, the E-mini NASDAQ in the top left, middle left, and then also the E-mini Dow in the top right. And as you can see, all indices point to a flat open, almost around the unchanged mark. So we're just slightly down, but it's less than 0.1%. So it seems that we are about to open flat. Now, for crude oil, it is a different story. Crude oil is already down 0.6% this morning, trading at 48.33, somewhere around there. So again, around the $48 mark, and we'll see what crude oil will do today. Now, gold and bonds. So gold is in the middle bottom, and bonds are in the bottom right. Again, just slightly up here, pointing also to a rather flat opening. A little bit higher here. Gold is up 0.22, attacking the $1,300 level again. So right now we are trading at 1294, 6 points away from the $1,300 level, and here are the bonds. So let's take a look a little bit at the big picture. Where do we stand? Here you see the Dow Jones, and these are the daily charts. And as you can see, after we attacked the 22,000 level, let me just enhance it a little bit. We first had a pull down, then we pulled slightly above 22,000 again. And then on Thursday and Friday, we saw this market sell-off. Now, what has caused this market sell-off? What happened here on Thursday and on Friday? Well, this is actually where traders are a little bit concerned about what's going on with the Trump administration here. Because, as you know, last week, after violence broke out there last weekend at a supremacist rally, President Trump made some comments that many didn't agree with, right? I mean, he made some very polarizing comments, and this is where many CEOs of his councils resigned. This happened in the beginning of the week. Now, this is where he started losing support, and then there were rumors on Thursday that Gary Cohn, who is Trump's chief economic advisor, would be stepping down as well. Well, turns out that thus far, these are only rumors, but this is where the market got very concerned. And then on Friday, the White House announced that chief strategist Steve Bannon would let go. So what does this mean? Why are the markets so nervous about this? Why are the markets selling off? Well, this is where investors think, oh my gosh, support for the president is waning here, and therefore the president might have a tough time to do what he was set out to do. The tax reform, the health reform, right? And you know that this is where investors were looking forward to, especially the tax reform, and this was a major key factor that has been driving this Trump rally here. So this morning, it seems that the markets will open flat, so no other concerns. But let's take a look at the economic calendar to see what's happening here this week. Now, looking at the economic calendar, you see that Monday and Tuesday are really, really quiet. Even on Wednesday, no major economic reports. We have FOMC member Kaplan speaking. We have the crude oil inventories. On Thursday, we have unemployment claims. And on Friday, we have the core durable goods, and we also have Fed Chair Yellen speaking. So what will traders focus on this week? I believe that this week, all eyes will be on the White House to see what's going on there. And you see, this is what we talked about it. Traders are always looking for an excuse to move the markets. We have been in narrow ranges for a while. And then at first, there was this ongoing tensions with North Korea that sent the markets down here. Now it is even bigger concerns here about the Trump administration. So we'll see what happens here this week. It should be an exciting week. So that's what's going on in the markets. And now let me switch gears here and tell you a little bit more about the Tony Robbins event, Business Mastery. See, I prepared a few pictures for you here. Let me just quickly show you these pictures here. First of all, this is where I try to get a picture of the room, and I use this pen. There is 2,200 people in the room, and the ticket price, picture this, a ticket price for the event is $10,000. So this is where, I mean, if you multiply 2,200 by 10,000, how much is this? How much is 2,200 times 10,000? Exactly, $22 million. Not bad, huh? So a lot of people here, a lot going on, and here's let's see. Here's yours truly, staying at the Cosmopolitan, overlooking the Strip here, very nicely. You see this little lanyard there, and it was pretty amazing to see the big guy standing right in front of you. So and yes, he is big. Oh my gosh! So absolutely, this is where you might be wondering, why does he have purses in his hand while he was illustrating a point. By collecting here some women's handbags. Anyhow, so let's talk about the three things. Let me just bring up here the notebook. Okay, so the three key takeaways from Tony Robbins, Business Mastery. And yes, even though it is called Business Mastery, there's a lot of jumping around. There's a lot of high-fiving. There's a lot of back rubs. I'm really not that much into this. But you know that Tony Robbins is all about, you got to change your state, because if you are in a better state, you make better decisions. So first of all, so this is one of the things that we experienced over and over here this weekend. It's all in your head. Okay, this is where it all starts. The reason why business owners don't see a breakthrough is because they're limiting themselves in their head. And this is where they say, well, you know what, there's two parts to it. Okay, so there's two parts to it. First of all, I can't do it. And this is what we tell ourselves as traders as well, right? I mean, has it ever happened? Let me ask you this question. Has it ever happened to you that you were looking at your screens, at your charts, you were looking at your account statements, and you said, you know what? I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this as a trader. I don't think I got it. Have you ever experienced this, that you said, you know what? I don't think I can do this trading thing. Look at my results. It's almost impossible. So this is where the story that we tell ourselves, I can't do it. Now, another story that we tell ourselves is, it can't be done. Okay, so this is for businesses as well as for traders. Now, in business, you might say to yourself, "Oh my gosh, I am in such a tough industry, right? It is impossible. My customers are so difficult. The rules and regulations, the economy, the environment, right?" So this is where we blame others. Okay, as traders, we like to do this as well. Oh my gosh, these markets are crazy. Look at these markets, right? I mean, they're just in narrow ranges and nothing works here, and then they're suddenly so volatile, and everything that I've done, you can't trade the markets, right? And so here, this is where we are blaming ourselves. Either way, as you can see, it is extremely important that no matter what we do in business, in relationships, in trading, that we tell ourselves, I can do it. And that, of course, was a major focus here for the past 5 days, right? That I can do it. And he actually made us all say that we are gladiators, right? But it seems this way in business, and it probably seems this way as well in trading, right? I mean, it seems that we are a gladiator going here through the markets, trying to survive, isn't it? So anyhow, how do we overcome it? And I just want to say one more thing to this, because it's very important as traders. It is so difficult to always stay positive. As traders, it is very possible to go into a downward spiral. Now, what could be the downward spiral that we send ourselves into? Well, first of all, it could be that we have a first trade. If you're day trading, the first trade of the day could be a loss, right? So what do we say ourselves now? Oh my gosh, now we have a loss. And I hope the next trade won't be a loss. What are we telling our brain? What are we telling our brain if we say, not another loss? We're reprogramming, or we're programming ourselves to experience another loss, right? And so we start looking for it. We start looking for another loss because our brain wants to prove us right. Now, this is where it can happen, and we have a few losses in a row because now we are so conditioned to look for the losing trades, right? And this is where we have a losing day. Now, what happens after a losing day? This is when we tell ourselves the next day, oh my gosh, I hope that that this day will not be another losing day. Oh dear, what does our brain do? Okay, our brain wants to prove us right, and as you know, our brain cannot understand the word not. So this is where our brain is now looking and proving us right by giving us a losing day. And then we say, oh my gosh, let's not have another losing week. I hope this won't be a losing week. What do we tell our brain? All right, let's have a losing week, right? And our brain tries to prove us right. And by doing so, we're missing important things. So this is why we have to start the day positive. And this is where I want to erase it here. And this is where we have to tell ourselves, I can do it. And yes, it can be done. And so one of the things that I personally like to do, I like to read I am statements, right? So I believe we talked about these I am statements in one of these Coffee for Markets, where you say, I am a great trader. Or if you want to do the Tony Robbins thing, I am a gladiator, right? Gladiator. Okay. I am disciplined. Yeah. I am a money making machine, right? So we're telling our brain what we want to be, and then by telling it our brain, we are programming ourselves, because again, our brain wants to prove us right, and this is why we need to have a positive attitude. So I recommend that you have 10 of these I am statements that you're reading out loud to yourself. Okay, so I have it, I do it, I like it, I know other people who do it, and it has helped them tremendously. All right. Number two is know where you are, know exactly where you are, and create an effective map to where you want to go. So this is true for both traders and business owners. So as a trader, where are you? Do you have a proven trading strategy? Okay, trading strategy like Seahawk strategy, Power X strategy, I mean, whatever it is. This is what we have been talking about here, morning after morning in Coffee with Markus. So is this the point? Do you have a proven trading strategy? If not, obviously, this is where you need to start. Next is, can you execute the strategy? Okay, meaning that do you first of all understand the strategy, and also do you have the discipline to execute the strategy? Is this where you are? So the next is, of course, we have to talk about capitalization. Where do you stand in terms of your account? Right? If you have a rather small account, we talked about it. If you have an account of $1,000, you should be trading binary options. If you have an account size between $2,000 and $5,000, you should be trading options. So know where you are and then create an effective map of where you want to go. If you have an account size between $5,000 and $10,000, this is where you want to, for example, day trade futures. If you have an account size of above $25,000, this is when you want to trade stocks, right? So again, know where you are and create an effective map of where you want to go. All right. And now, number three, the third key takeaway here from this event is absolutely you gotta know your numbers. Now, how do you know your numbers in business? Well, this is where you have QuickBooks or accounting software, and then you know your financial numbers. But in addition to your financial numbers, you need to know how many leads are you generating? How many of these leads are converting into customers? How much do these customers spend on average? How often do the customers purchase from you? Now, for traders, we're looking at different numbers. So we want to know, of course, our winning percentage, right? We want to know our average profit per trade. We want to know our average winning trade. How much do we make when we have a winning trade? We want to know what is our average losing trade. And we also want to know how many losses in a row can we expect. So there are some key numbers, and this is where it goes back to what we already said a few weeks ago. You gotta keep a trading log. Keeping a trading log is what turned my trading around in the beginning of my trading career when I was struggling. You must have a trading log, and then you analyze the trading log. So in the same way as a business owner, where you would analyze how many leads are coming in, how they're converting, you want to analyze your trading log, and you want to analyze your trading log for all these numbers, and you want to do this by strategy. You also want to do this by market, and you also might want to do this by day or time of the day. And here's why. So these are a few things that I found out. As an example, these days, for example, I prefer to trade the Seahawk strategy. Okay, and I prefer to trade it on the E-mini S&P as well as crude oil. Why? Because for me, I have analyzed it, and the way how I trade the Seahawk strategy in the other markets, it was underperforming. So instead of trading water, right? I mean, why don't I focus on what works? And this is exactly what we want to do, right? Focus on what works. Okay, ditch what doesn't work. Also personal here. I noticed that when I'm trading crude oil on Fridays, it seems that every single Friday I experience more losses than usual. So what's the easiest way for me to improve my trading? Stop trading crude oil on Fridays. On Fridays, I do not trade crude oil. Again, that is for me. I don't want to put this out as a blanket statement and say, never ever trade crude oil on Fridays. No, the way how I trade, the strategies that I use, this just show me on Fridays, it's not good for me to trade crude oil. The other thing is, we talked about PowerX Analyzer. So for example, for me, I like to trade stocks between $5 and $250. Why? Because for me, I experienced whenever I was trading stocks below $5, so penny stocks at $1 or $2, that I had more losses. So what's the easiest way to get rid of the losses? Stop trading these stocks that are producing the losses. So this is why, for me personally, I will not trade stocks below $5. No, this doesn't mean that it doesn't work for you. If you're a great penny stock trader, good for you, right? I mean, I know people who make money with penny stocks. Absolutely. I don't. And this is where and let me make this be big, your numbers. All right, we're getting close to the end of the session here. So I want to give you one bonus takeaway that I heard here, and this is take action now. Don't procrastinate. If you know that there are certain things that need to be done in your trading, so let's go back here to number 2. If you know where you are and what you need to do it now. Create an effective map. Create action steps. Don't procrastinate. If you know that there's something that needs to be fixed, fix it today. If you know there's something where you need more knowledge, acquire the knowledge today. If you know that you need to put in 40 practice trades, start practicing the trades today, or at least put it on the calendar, right? I mean, you know Tony Robbins, what he says, the key to success, and this, let me write this down here because I like his quote. The key to success is taking massive action, right? So what action are you going to take? Write it down here in the chat. What are you going to do today? What are you going to do this week? All right. By just writing down, you're making already a commitment to yourself. If you're just telling it yourself in your brain, this is where you're not making a commitment, but by just writing it down, you make a commitment. So whether you write it on a piece of paper or put it here in a chat box, it doesn't matter. Just commit to taking action now. All right, so this wraps up this morning's Coffee for Markus. For those of you who are here live with me, I want to hang out with you for a few more minutes, answer a few more questions. For those of you who are watching the recordings, come on, join me live here. It is Monday through Thursday from 8:20, as you can see, to 8:40, 8:45 Central Time. We do all sorts of different things. So tomorrow we'll look live at the markets a little bit more. We will look for possible trades according to the PowerX analyzer. So that's what I'm planning to do tomorrow. But hey, that's what I'm planning to do. You never know what I'm going to do tomorrow. So we'll see. Anyhow, for those of you who are here, I'm going to answer a few more questions. For those who are watching the recording, please join us live Monday through Thursday, 8:20 to 8:40 Central Time.